apostles gathered around Jesus and told him all that they had done and taught. He said to them, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest a while." For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. So they went away in the boat to a deserted place by themselves. Now many saw them going and recognized them, and they hurried on foot from all of the towns and arrived ahead of them. As Jesus went ashore, he saw a great multitude, and he had compassion for them, because they were like a sheep without a shepherd. Then he began to teach them many things. My brothers and sisters, this is the gospel.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Since I've seen and had the opportunity of celebrating the Eucharist with you, more than a year. So I keep pumping in after the 10:30 with the 12:30 Mass. So, but I'm happy that I was given the opportunity to share with you today the Sunday Eucharistic service with the theme of taking care of each of us like Jesus wants us to take care of each of us. First reading speaks about how not to take care of one another, because Jeremiah was criticizing the instituted pastors, leaders of their community, who are not uniting the flock, but instead they were the cause of division. They were the cause of segregation, and they were the cause of separation. So, Yahweh, God, was criticizing and saying that, woe to you. And you know what that means in our day today, no? When they say woe, it's not saying wow. It's saying shame on you for doing this, okay? Dividing the flock and scattering the sheep everywhere. And so, Yahweh said that among you, we will be able to build up one nation, and among you I will raise a shepherd that will unite the entire flock together. And I will nurture you, he said. I will bring you to a green pasture where you can nurture yourself and heal yourselves. So I will put among you a shepherd who will take care of you. And I will raise it from the house of David. So, in this house. And so, the second reading, St. Paul was telling that the unity that will come from among us is not a unity based on contracts. It's not a unity based on agreements, policies. He will remove the wall that we have built among us, the hostility that exists. We will no longer be aliens, undocumented, citizens. We will all be one citizen. We will share that universal citizenship in one God. And I will tear down the walls that you are trying to build among you. I said, okay, that sounds something I've heard already. Somebody wants to put up a wall, and somebody wants to God wants to destroy that wall and say there will be no division among you. And Jesus Christ offered this to his disciples when they came back last week. He sent them forth to cast out demons and to preach the good news on his behalf. So after that, they all came back and they were talking wonders of the amount of effort they have done to do what is good to the rest of the community. And then after that, Jesus Christ noticed the amount of work that they have done. When I looked into the prayer liturgy aid that we have, I saw the amount of work done there. Women hiding behind the scenes, working several hours, trying to edit so that we can have a good liturgy. That's it. Nice. You know what? I have my own liturgy, but I'll skip this because there's more work. I'll use that in the Spanish Mass after this. So I said, let's honor this one because there's a lot of work put into it. So, but Jesus Christ, when he saw his disciples, they came back and they were happy, and at the same time they were telling him, we've done this. We've expelled demons, we've cured the sick, and we have preached your good news. So he said, skip it. Let's all go out to an isolated place and let's take some rest. So he exercised his being a shepherd to his disciples, and he said, I know it's important to work, but right now let us take leave and let us find some rest. So a good shepherd is somebody who does not consider his flock as mere robots or machines for work, but treats them as companions. So the good thing about the absence of our pastor, Bishop Peter, is that we were able to get together and we were able to share one another, and we found out that the real pastor was the same pastor that Bishop Peter has been hammering into our heads for the last 30 years. It's not him. It's the one who called him, right? It's the one who gathered us together. He keeps saying, raise Jesus Christ up and the rest will follow. So he is our shepherd. He is our pastor. And so Jesus Christ invited his disciples to take rest and so that they can replenish themselves. You know, resting is a good idea when you are sober for a certain time. You rest. It means that we're making a statement. We're making a statement that our work is not our God. Our salary is not our God. We take that Sabbath day seriously, where we can replenish ourselves and we find rest. So most of us here in the U.S., we're in a society where we need to produce. So we work. Oh. And then why do we work? Money. We need to what? We need to nurture ourselves. But don't forget, the best nurturing is when we take some time off and relax and replenish ourselves. It's not, Jesus Christ is not saying, do not isolate yourselves from the world. Because some of us, we think that resting is sleeping. It's part of it. I do that every Monday. I wake up. Since you say that, you folks who have day jobs, you say, thank God it's Friday. We clergy, we say, thank God it's Monday. Because it's our rest day, right? So that's the time when we replenish ourselves, and I wake up when my body says, wake up. That's too much. Okay, so I wake up. Regularly 7:30. Oh, okay. So rest is replenishing, but it's not isolating ourselves from the reality. Rest is something like going back into communion with God. Okay? So after his disciples have done their mission, Jesus Christ said, let's take a step back and evaluate what were the things that we have done that would have improved the work that we have done. What are the things we're lacking? So we go back and separate ourselves, not to isolate ourselves, but to go back to the one who sent us and say, did I do good? What were the things that I need to improve in my relationship and in my work, in my daily life? That's why all of us, we need those replenishing time with good friends, good company, and good drink. So hopefully with that, we will be able to see things clearly. Because when we're stressed out, we don't see things like that. We make decisions from our, where do we make decisions? Where's the basis of our decision when we're not rested?
Intuition.
Intuition, or gut, or
Well, I don't know about that one. Great on a Sunday.
yeah.
So,
So
Lord, see you later.
we take, when we are rested, we kind of balance everything and we replenish. So it's a good time for us to stop for a while and think, am I a workaholic? Do I just go until I drop dead? We need some time for us to replenish ourselves and strengthen us so that we can see things and balance things in our lives. So, because a lot of work leads to activism. I'm a very active person. I join all the meetings everywhere in Orange County. So, yeah. So one of my priest friends, an older one, says, Arturo, let's watch some movie. I said, I have to do this. He said, drop it. You know, work will not end. You will.
I don't know, Chad,
What kind of movie you want to watch? Let's go for it. So, we did that. And the other thing is, a shepherd is not only worried about replenishing, but he was also, when they went off to a far place to get their break, the people saw them and they recognized them and they knew where they were going, so they ran ahead. They said that it's a 4-mile sail through the lake and it's a 10-mile walk around the lake. But since the rest of the villages found out, and you know when rumors spreads, it's faster than walking. So most of the people were already on the other side. And when they got there, the people they were trying to avoid were already waiting for them. But Jesus Christ showed another characteristic of a good shepherd. He had compassion in them. His heart was touched when he saw, and he wasn't angry. He wasn't angry because he knew, he saw in them, they were like sheep without shepherd. So he began feeding them. He also knew that his disciples were tired, so he said, you go ahead and rest, and I will take care of this. So he knew the needs of his disciples, so he let them rest, but he also knew the needs of the community. He had compassion over them, so he put his rest on the side, and he began teaching the people who were after him. And so with that, he was able to share to us another characteristic of a shepherd, somebody with compassion. Pope Francis dedicated 1 year to that compassionate heart of Jesus, and he called it the mercy of Jesus. In Spanish we say misericordia. 2 Latin words, misericordia, cordia, heart, misere, something who is disturbed, who's not at peace, because what he sees around him is not according to the will of his Father. So he started teaching them. He started nourishing his flock and feeding his flock. Next week we'll be hearing about another feeding, but that's a different story for next week. But he fed them and he shared them the need that they wanted as the people of God. And so for us also, I call on, because we're all leaders. I like the fact last Thursday when we said the clergy and the pastoral council, we are all responsible to one another. So we're all leaders. And in some way, we have our family. I call them dads, mom, kids are on vacation, summer vacation, they're there. 24/7. So it's not enough just to give them what they need, not enough to give them gadgets, not enough to give them all these eye things that they need, eye games, but also we need to feed them. We need sound judgment, sound teaching, so that we can enable them that when they grow up, they won't need us, they will be able to go and make it on their own. But for the meantime, as long as they're living under the roof, your roof, you know who calls the shot there, right?
God does for me.
I asked one of the quinceañeras, as long as you're under the roof of your parents, you know who makes the final decision, right? She said, yes, it's my mom. Shh, don't say that. Now, everybody make it look like your dad. As long as they are under our care and we are their shepherd, we have the right to know who are their friends in Snapchat, in Twitter, and all the accounts that they have. So you're invading my privacy. You say, I'm just being a responsible dad to you. You should know who their friends are, where are they going. Okay? So why? Because that's responsibility of a shepherd. We also ask our leaders, if you have, if you're, how do you call it? You own your own business and you have employees. Do you have enough time for them so that they can have rest also? Or it's just production, production, production? So we need to strike a balance so that we will see work, and it's not isolating, but it's going back to God and replenishing ourselves. So in today's world, we ask ourselves, what are the different misconceptions that we have when we say rest? Sometimes we say, let's not do anything, let's just hang in there. Jesus Christ is saying, resting is taking a pause, going back to Him, communicating, and presenting to God, have I done correct everything that I've done? What do I need to improve? We ask God that. So sometimes when I'm tired, I just sit back and listen to good music. Or in the afternoon, when my last service is in St. Matthew, I put on the, the karaoke. And I try singing. Since nobody's listening, I just sing to the Virgin of Guadalupe. And she doesn't say anything. It means she's happy. So, yeah. So, do we have that appropriate time for us so that we can replenish our strength and then draw something and make us think, how do I proceed with my life from now on? And the other thing is, when ministry asks us to continue, like Jesus Christ was asked by the crowd, He saw the need that they have. He put aside His own rest and He responded to the people. So, do we put as priority in our lives, how do you say, bien común in English?
What is it?
Bien común.
In común?
Bien común. Huh? It's the good of everybody. The what? The greater good. Do we put the greater good on top of our own thing, our own interest? So we ask ourselves, we ask ourselves, how are we as shepherds to our own flock? How are we in our relationship with God? Do we take enough time to evaluate things, to communicate back to God? Or we're just a machine when we wake up in the morning and going through the routine? We do that. And then the other thing is, what are the misconceptions do I have with rest? What are the needs my community have? So I can put aside my own rest so that I can serve. So I applaud the effort of the parish council, who's been meeting twice a week for the last 2 weeks, 2.5 months. We've been trying to see how we shepherd in Firefly, all of us. And let us ask the Lord also, we may not lose sight of the real shepherd that gathered all together the community, the faith community of St. Matthew. When we come to church, who are we following? Jesus. Who? Jesus. Who? Jesus. My mom usually says that. The third time you don't get it. So we're here, we're following our shepherd, Jesus Christ. And we thank God for all the different shepherds that stepped up, the women shepherds that we have in our church, the lady shepherds that we have, who have all stepped up so that we can continue to not lose focus on who are we following, Jesus Christ. Who are we serving, Jesus Christ. And as Doris said in one of the announcements, now it's time for us to be Bishop Peter to one another. He said that, right?
I think so.
So everything that he has poured out in us and inspired us for the last 30 years that he dedicated his life to us, now we have to learn from him and practice it so that we can be real shepherds. Because if you haven't noticed, the rest of the ECC is looking at St. Matthew. Wow. ECC means not only US, Europe, Latin America, Philippines. They're looking at us. So we will be shepherd to the rest of the communion that we have. So let us thank God for this shepherd who has been guiding us. Let us thank God for Bishop Peter, who is now resting so that he can replenish himself and evaluate how are we going to continue with our ministry and at the same time with our shepherding as an entire community of St. Matthew. Spanish, English, Indians, Filipinos, what? Europeans. So you see that? It's a multicolored. There are no walls in St. Matthew. It's all coupled down. We're all in this together. So we thank God for that, and we ask the Lord to give us that strength, replenish us, so that we can continue giving witness in our daily lives of the wonders of welcoming everybody and following Jesus Christ as our Bishop. Thank the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.